Howdy, howdy, everybody. We're back on it here at 4C Gaming. We're back on it. My name is Josh. I'm going to be doing a little bit of the intro today to give a quick recap of last session. We were inside the Zephyros Tower. We had just gotten on this floating tower, hopefully to abscond to the next area that we needed to get to. And we ended up talking and with this wonderful giant that was a little off. Did a lot of magical experiments, knew about a lot of different things, and ended up finding out about a love story between Lucas, Liam, uh, his whole master apparently has some sort of a fling going on in between Zephyros and him. And then the cat crawled up to where Zephyros was, resting and cuddled. And now we have giants at our door for whatever reason that don't like what Zephyros is selling. So here we are, back at it again.
Yes, there was a storm, and there were maybe some things in the clouds. You know how it is.
Yeah. And I guess we will put it back over, or Kale, our wonderful GM. And I'll let everybody else introduce themselves, and we'll get back to it.
Well, I don't have too much of an introduction other than the fact that they were creepily peering into the tower as you guys were flying through, and we were all caught up in the unexpected romance that seems to be a theme / the traveling carnival. Depends on which day it is. We could do both, but it depends on how busy we are. But yeah, currently, it's evening. You haven't been doing much, so as far as health and spell slots and key points, you guys are in top shape. And not in combat right now. Do you guys?
Do we see these giants like
Yes.
at the door, or are they outside the windows?
They are currently lurking outside of your windows ominously.
I defer to, I guess, Zephyros, but I mean, does anyone else like? Once Liam notices this, he'll call out and say, "Hey, what are they doing out there?"
Um, who do you mean?
The bloody I guess they're storm giants. Would I be able to tell that? Like from
Um,
the crack, like it's kind of a signal. That's their calling card. Obviously, there's a storm happening.
yeah, I mean, I'd say at this point, it's a giant.
In the
It's
clouds.
stormy.
They're in the
They're in the
sky.
sky with you.
It was a
You
dark
know,
and stormy
I could give
night.
it to you.
um,
This one,
well,
yeah.
um, friends, and he'll definitely shout up to the hole. Said, friends of yours.
It's like, I don't know him. Really loudly to you, Violet, since you're like right there. Yeah, right.
You
They
think they
usually
want to
keep to
fight?
themselves, just like me.
Oh,
Uh,
well,
so unless you stop him, Sentry, he's probably gonna pick you up.
I'll be picked up. It's fine.
Well, because then he's gonna levitate downward through the hole
Yep.
to the first floor with you.
Yep, I trust him. Pretty
Yeah.
comfy.
There we go. It's pretty funny though. It was just the face you just made was pretty amazing. Just like I don't have to like it.
All
There we go.
right. This should be fun.
You think they want to fight?
Let's hope not.
Yes. At this point, then loudly he'll just be like, in giant says, "Well, I don't know what brings you to my windows, but you could always try the door."
Uh,
Uh, um. So with that, depending on if you guys are going to be doing anything else or not, one of them is going to raise up their weapon, their great
I'll-
sword.
Liam will definitely go to intercept and
Well, I was gonna say he's
challenge
gonna
the-
he's gonna reach to swing in and smash in the window. So what are you
Does the
going to
win-
do?
Does the window open out or in? Or up or
Um,
down?
I'll say that they open
Like
in.
glass panes.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say they're usually just glass panes, to be honest. They don't open. They're not like the slide up kind, like you're in a suburban home.
So, according to my math, I think that's 40 foot. I think I can make it there.
Yeah, I'll let you make a run for it. For sure. Just curious.
Yeah. So Liam would make that all the way up to this guy and basically open the window inwards and then sort of shunt himself out, like feet first, to try and drop kick the guy. And
what?
Nothing too intense.
No.
Roll for initiative.
I think I get a surprise round, honestly.
I mean, you did have to do the whole run and everything, so
Is that acrobatics or athletics?
oh my god.
Can I do
Athletics.
athletics? Yes.
It's absurd. Okay.
Was that
Yes.
you crit
Yes.
on
Crit.
jumping through the
I
window?
just crit.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'll give
Yes.
you with your crit, you will get the surprise round, and then we'll be rolling initiatives.
Thank
Of course.
you. Oh, that feels so good.
It's pretty funny.
No, the lowest lows, the highest highs and the lowest lows.
And
Would
Liam
it be
falls
D&D
off of the
without
sky
it?
tower.
That
There's clouds. It's fine.
let's say you run, you go leaping
Well,
outward.
that was my surprise round. Now I get to roll for initiative.
Yeah,
I also get
that's-
other attacks. If I've made it
Well,
over there.
Yeah, if you admit, let's say you start to go flying through as you leap dramatically through, but a giant hand closes around your leg, and you do not go
No.
flying off of the cloud platform, though.
No, yeah, I'll use this against him. Honestly,
I believe that.
bonus
I'm
action.
sure that we'll see it soon.
Do I get to roll my bonus attack?
I'll let you do one thing, one attack,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get all of
Yeah.
your stuff.
No.
Oh, I forgot to click on my token. Oopsies.
Oh well.
Let's
10
see.
doesn't hit.
No, a 10 does not hit. You're just flustered, you know it happens. That was a 1.
I got a 15, but I didn't click on the token. Should I just go ahead and click? Just roll again.
Click your token, roll again, and if it's worse, I'll add your 15. But it just makes it easier if you're on there.
Gotcha.
If you have your character sheet up, you can also click initiative on that, and
Yeah.
he'll roll it for you.
I think that's usually what he does.
That's
but-
what I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just automatically assigned mine.
Good on you.
We're doing so good today.
Yeah. Can't believe
Oh.
it. Hey!
Hmm. Huh. Well.
Would you look at that?
No, I don't like that. That's a negative there, Ghost Rider.
It happens. Let's see.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. He's gonna break my freaking legs.
I'm just gonna like shout. Did you guys come to eat some goat
Oh.
too?
Should have raged.
Aye.
That's true. You can't miss at raging, but okay.
It's alright. It's been a while there, buddy. It happens to the best of us. Some of us
Yeah.
fall flat.
No, legitimately, it does happen to everybody.
It's fine.
Okay,
I'll
so
be fine. If he throws
he
me,
the
rage on the
other
way.
giant hurls a magical lightning bolt here. No, wait, sorry, here. So each creature within 10 feet must make a dexterity saving throw.
Heard.
Okay.
Sometimes we like to say hello.
That's negative there. Nope. Didn't make it.
Hey!
Good for you.
As a preference from you guys, how do you feel about using the average damage versus me rolling the dice and seeing how we do? Because I genuinely care about your input in this moment. Should have asked earlier.
You know, with how terrible our rolls have been, I'm nervous about average damage.
Yeah,
I get
I am, rather scary, scared of the old average damage. Also because I just looked at it, and no, it could kill me outright. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, I prefer rolls.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm gonna die. We are gonna die.
You never know.
And that was the end of Storm King's Thunder. Rip.
You get a reaction each round, I think, right? Isn't that the thing? You get like an action and a reaction unless you have anything that gives you additional. Lucas, you look like you're wanting to have some input, and I'm very open-minded, so no? Okay.
Yeah, I'll look at the spell. I think it only gives, it might give resistance, but I'm gonna make sure.
But I'm open to you using a reaction in this moment, if you have one. But but not everyone has reactions necessarily that they can use, unless it's like
It is
making an attack of
resistance.
opportunity.
You would take a half damage on the reaction of absorb
Yeah,
elements.
yeah.
And
I would say yes.
I'm making sure of the
Absolutely.
wording.
If that is the case, I know I'm already sort of taking half damage because I passed, right? Could I still uncanny dodge to take another half?
Yeah, that's shouldn't be a problem. Let's see.
It says when it hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the damage against you.
Oh, there we go.
I'm assuming
So
he's
now,
still
since you
hitting me.
missed,
Oh, he missed me? Okay.
well, I was gonna say, in this moment, he's hurling a lightning bolt. You're within the range of like the energy of it, so I'd say you're being hit, and so you could uncanny dodge. What do you think, Josh?
I was like, I got a 26 on my save, so that's why I was like, I don't know if it hits me still or.
So on a technicality, the way the spells work, it still states that like the spell's hitting you.
Yeah.
Most of the time that I've ever run with saves, unfortunately, uncanny dodge is usually against like
physical
arrows,
attack,
physical
or
attacks, or an attack spell. So if you see someone like hurling a spell at
Well,
you
he's
that
hurling a
doesn't
lightning
require
bolt.
a saving throw,
yeah.
but I'll let that up to you.
Yeah, I mean, it says to me, it says hurling a magical lightning bolt, and this is a fairly nasty go, so I wouldn't.
Well, it
I
just
would like to
says.
dodge.
What do you think?
Oh.
Yeah, it just says when an attacker you see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's
Yeah.
damage against you. So
Yes,
it's
this is an
like
attack.
if you make the save, that's half, and then whatever damage is left, you can use your reaction to half again.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I'm reading it, Lucas. So yeah,
Perfect. I would
Great.
like to do that and go this way.
Because you can only do that on one attack a turn, so it's like
yeah,
think
I mean that
about
makes
it.
sense. Unless yeah. All right, great. Let's see.
I'm trying to like dodge as far away from their angles. Like,
And there you have it, folks. I am down.
Oh.
You're down.
It did 56 damage.
Ooh.
I failed my save, and I have 38 health because I am a wizard.
Mm.
I'm not a frontline boy. I meant to stay in the back. Unfortunately, that was not an option.
Well, you get death saves, so we'll see how. Speaking of that, hey, let's see one.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's my turn.
It is your turn. I believe in you, Josh.
We'll see. Hey!
Yeah.
I made it, boss.
Heck yeah.
All right, Liam.
Yeah. So did I
You're-
land, or am I in this guy's like hand? Is he holding
He's
me
holding
like
you with.
toddler?
Yeah, he's holding you.
Okay, like by one
Yeah,
leg,
he had you in a
like
hand. Yeah, like just like in his hand.
like an irresponsible parent. Okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah, he's
will
not looking at you with nurturing gaze.
I will rage out.
Fair.
Yeah.
Nobody handles me like this in a Publix. I mean, what? No.
Never again. Never again.
Where like what? Do I have to click something to do that, or do I just apply it to my?
Rage
you
is
can-
automatic. It's
Yeah.
just you can bonus action rage, and then your main action.
I
do what you do.
believe that underneath your attacks, you might be able to click a modifier for rage so that it automatically gives you the boost, but otherwise,
Yeah.
don't think you have to do much
Okay.
to account for a use of it.
Good to go.
Okay.
Uh,
Because I tried to add those modifiers to your sheets to make it easier to just auto add things. By the way, I like your ears, Sentry.
they have a little knife earring on them and like fake blood, and they're great.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah. What's your other one?
A silent. Was it silent incantation?
Gotcha. It happens.
Hi, I'm a nerd of D&D.
Well, for some reason, my journal isn't really working very well right now. But yes, what are you wanting to do, Liam?
I'm attacking with my quarterstaff. I think I get a bonus to my attack, or is it to damage? I think I get bonus to damage from
I
my.
think
It's
definitely damage, right?
it's +2 on strength based. Oh crap! I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
look it up.
Yeah, +2 to damage. So there we go. Damn.
Oopsies.
So I think I just did 13 damage with my quarterstaff.
Yes, that does hit.
The 16 did hit.
Yeah.
And then I'll spend some key to, or no, I rage with my bonus. So I'm good. That was me.
We all have our moments. And Zephyros is irritated. This
Mildly.
is, yeah, very, very rude behavior.
It's not nice.
And also, they just grabbed you in their hand. So he's going to use a bonus action. He's going to Misty Step.
Oh snap.
And just very irritated. Cast Crown of Madness. We'll see how we go.
Oh
One of my
no.
top favorite spells.
Mad though. You never know.
Man.
Doesn't always work, so you gotta have other options.
I
It's
know what
good
my
times.
option is.
Well,
I'm gonna
everything
lay
is
down.
being weird on my roll 20. How's your guys' acting?
We're seeing the spells. Do you need to make a save for the other
You're
giant?
the giant.
I definitely do. It wasn't the sheet wasn't opening, and so I'm just gonna use a different reference and roll it. Because I don't have time for that. It's a wisdom save, yeah.
Yeah.
Just do this manual. No.
Oh.
Well, and there you have it for that one for now. Lupinia, how are you feeling? Just a little. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, that way you don't have to risk hitting Liam.
Sorry, ignore that button.
For some reason, I was like, man, how did you get 8 damage on a magic missile? That's amazing. Saw that. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Best friends.
Kale,
Did we lose him?
do we lose him? Just can't hear him.
Kale.
His video disappeared on my screen, but it's refreshing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
refresh screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, meow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Duh. I hear you.
Okay.
Your video is refreshing, but that's about it.
Okay.
I had to switch over. My Discord just decided it wanted to do an update. Middle of us streaming.
Sounds like Discordy things.
Yeah.
Pure Discord.
Yeah, if you guys are getting any kind of echo, I can always get my Bluetooth headset from my phone.
Yeah, you still sound pretty decent.
The baby.
Can see everybody but Lucas.
It's famous rapper and artist DaBaby. Just featured on my stream.
Yeah.
Lucas is up for us, I think. He was just showing us this cat.
Do you want us all to refresh and see if we can get everybody in? Because can you see Kale there, Will?
Yeah, just let me. Sorry.
And I'm back.
I'm doing it too.
I do see a couch. Is that the Kale couch? It's the Kale couch.
It is.
Is it?
Do I need to reconnect too?
No, I think you're
Okay.
good. Can you see everybody?
Mhm.
Oh, you can't see Kale though. You just go to the reconnect.
Yep,
And then,
I know how to reconnect.
Okay, just making sure.
And now I know the answer.
I want a hot pocket.
You are a hot pocket.
You
Just
are a
believe
hot
in yourself.
pocket. Just believe it. Believe it.
Okay. Is that better?
Love you.
Yes.
The advantage of having multiple headsets. Because I was betrayed.
I still can't see Kale, but as long as he's showing.
I can't see you either, Lucas.
You go to the reconnect button. Do it.
Me?
No, not you,
Lucas.
Lucas, because I can see you perfectly fine there, Kale.
All right, sweet.
I did it.
Come on.
Look at that lovely loading circle and that possum. That's a possum, right?
That's a possum.
Yeah.
Shanking the
That's definitely
stab
a possum.
possum.
So, are we still live right now while we're dealing with this? Excellent. I was making sure I understood. Yes. Gaming on the internet is one of those moments, so I just feel like, this is the real representation of distance game.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're all real people with real technical issues. It's fine.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm reconnecting.
To be honest, for me, it's one of those moments where I'm just mad that it's just the Wi-Fi here is just not as strong as it could be. And I guess I could throw down for the high-speed internet connection for streaming days. I just didn't plan very well. You got to pay for the day for high speed.
Right.
It's all Gouda.
It is.
Oh, Gru, yeah.
Yes.
Whatever
so,
your
what
choice.
do you guys think of these Storm Giants so far?
I'm loving them. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think we're definitely going to win. Do not pay attention to the scorch hole in my ribs.
Super hot.
What? Sure. He's not very bulky because he's, a wizard.
I'm actually a very toasty. A very toasty wizard.
Are we all back?
Yeah, I think so. I see everyone.
I still see everybody but Lucas. Perhaps we're just not meant to be.
He just popped back in for me.
Alright, well, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, I see on Will's everyone's showing up, so I think we're good.
Great.
All right, so that was that, and Lopina, and you.
Were you doing anything else, Lupini, or that good, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Your magic missile, and then you, yeah. Yeah, I'll say you definitely wanted to drag him under the table with you. That totally makes sense. Absolutely. And they're not a corpse yet.
Yet. It's all
He's
right. I
fighting
have
for
a
his life
cleric.
right now.
I have a cleric ready in the way just in case. It's okay.
And okay, Violet Blossom.
I would like to use my pretty staff and cast Mass Cure Wounds on my allies. Tanks.
What'd that do?
I believe
16
you roll,
hit points.
or there we go.
I get
Hey.
HP back. I could be a part of the show again.
Yeah.
I really hope he hits me with another lightning bolt because that would be hilarious and I would die laughing.
Are you gonna move, or are you just gonna use your staff?
I am going to run really far.
Which direction?
Like this way.
Oh, okay, so you gotta clarify. Well, you can't do it where. Yeah, exactly. That's. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but.
Yeah.
All right.
Over there.
Fantastic.
All right, let me get my.
I mean, I could have like
Hopped out the window and gone around.
On his turn, the storm giant is going to reach inside and put you down, Liam,
What the fuck?
because he's being affected by Crown of Madness right now.
I see.
He's just gonna plop you down there, and then drop his great sword, and just kind of stick in the middle of the storm, just getting right on right next to Zephyros, who looks amused. And so, Moral, it's like the smell of like singed hair. Like cough.
Ozone.
You're like, yeah, and you're just like, oh, but you're alive.
Are we under a table? Okay. Oh, that's great. I stand up and I'm like, okay. Do I see? So do I? I see the giant with the jagged thorns on his head, the iron.
Yeah,
crown.
exactly. He's got the iron crown, so you know for yourself that he's being affected. Also, there's a soaking wet Liam
I
standing
just
here.
look really annoyed, like I have all this rage and I need to release it.
Yeah, he's a grumpy
But I was
boy.
just put down gently, like
Yeah, exactly.
you did not just put me down gently just now. This is
He's
not
like,
happening.
there you go.
Only likes it rough.
Yeah.
But do I see the other giant at all, or is there a window in that direction?
Not right now.
Okay. I'm going to ready a spell. Hold on.
And actually, that makes me think, like, did this thing get missed for initiative? What? No, it shouldn't have. No, where's this? Sorry. You're gonna cast a spell. What's the spell?
The spell. As soon as I see him, it's going to be a cast of Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Make my friends, able to hit good.
That could be useful. Absolutely. Okay, so. Alright, so Liam, you're very angry.
Yeah. I run I guess I'll use my full movement to like go out the front door and try
Sure.
to find the other
So,
guy.
on that note, there are some freaking out horses in here.
Outside. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
And remember, they're
Yep.
maybe I can punch one to maintain my rage.
A horse?
I have to hit something to maintain my rage, Kale.
As it's like rocks falls, everybody dies. Like what is that? Hey,
It's
you
just
just told
that
me you're gonna punch a horse.
it's so smart, but in a dumb way, and I love it. It's just, how do I maintain rage? I must attack something, or else my rage ends.
Or I have to take
Horse.
some damage.
Do
So, or
what
I
you're
can,
going to do, Lucas.
yeah. I think this is the limits to my movement. And then I'd call out to everyone like, "Hey, we don't want these guys here, right?"
No!
Oh, okay then.
I cough up some smoke and it's kind of, nope, nope, mm-mm. Look at that house. It's a house. I like house.
I wouldn't say
Non-lethal damage.
Or the horse is going to fight. Big brain time.
Release the horses towards the giant.
I feel like if I let the horses out, they'll
They'll
like
just tumble
run
over
off.
the edge.
They'll just run off the side of the cloud. Like I can't release panicking horses out onto the cloud.
I thought they were already too scared to go over the edge.
Now,
They
okay,
still have survival instincts.
this is okay. This is an actual question. If I like used, say, Step of the Wind, spent my key, and then I still had my action, could I, as an action, sort of make like a slapping, like you know, on the rump, like, hey, whoa there, whoa, and try to make my action, I guess, handle animals, to try to calm them so they don't hurt themselves.
Not at the same time as you're slapping one.
Well, that's not that I'm slap. Never mind. I
do
misused that.
a
No
rump rub.
snuggles.
A rump
Yeah.
rub.
Yeah, but and I don't know that maintains the rage.
No, you're right. I can't do both.
Yeah, you soothingly hit the horse. Like no, no, sorry, you can't like soothingly hit. Yeah, no, yeah. Anyways,
So this is a soothing 7 damage. It's real
Very gentle nose pat.
I'll just leave the animals alone.
okay.
Whew, Lordy. I'll never sin again. Oh, you can punch yourself. You are a creature.
Yeah, you can punch yourself. You know.
Okay, I'll do that.
But
I just think this is funny. You give your own rump an encouraging slap instead of the horse. You know.
Okay, I definitely hit myself.
You tell everybody to witness me, shiny and grown.
And then I do.
Technically, you guys can't see what's
myself.
happening right now because he's behind this curtain. You can hear the horses are freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So, yeah.
that's half to 4, right? Half rounded down.
Yeah. Would it be in favor of the player? Is it round down?
Yeah,
or
half rounded down. Yeah, half
So-
half rounded down. It's always half rounded down in D&D.
So three damage. Babbage.
4, because it's 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't see that part. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm raging.
No, you're good. Josh is like, wow, your math is really wrong. Nah, it's fine.
It's like 7 don't go numbers.
All right. So yeah, so you can still maintain your rage. All right. So yes, he's still
I'm
got his
just
dagger.
imagining the line from God, what is the movie? The Adam Sandler movie with the Sprouse twins, Big Daddy or something like that.
I have
I
no
bite my
idea.
own ass.
Okay. Let's see.
Yes, he did.
All right. Let's see. So Cerberus doesn't really want him to make an attack. He can reach anybody. Just gonna wisdom save. Nope. So as you pointed out, he is a creature. And so he's going to punch himself. Because it has to be done to maintain this speed. Nope. Nope.
Doesn't
There
even
it
hit
happens.
himself.
Doesn't even hit himself. Alright, so Liam, here's your moment. A storm giant flings open the door right next to you and begins to barrel into you and the horses.
Yeah, I didn't have a reaction saved up, but I'm right. I'm making a human wall and trying to catch a calf, and like, you know, he'll do the Achilles tendon. You know, he'll smash it up good.
Well, I mean, with your fists.
Yeah.
That's
Just
you
wondering.
can use a reaction as he starts to go running by. What's up?
I was just wondering if Lucas has the grappler feat.
No, I don't have any feats yet.
Okay, I gotcha. Just to let you know, a technicality: a grapple can only be of one size larger than you, and these are huge.
I don't know if
But
as a Goliath. I think I'm still a medium-sized creature.
you are still a medium-sized
You are.
creature. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you your reaction, right? Or did you say you
Oh,
didn't have
do
one?
I mean, can I?
You
If he's
usually
going
do an
back,
attack of
yeah,
opportunity.
I'll
He's
do.
trying
Yeah,
to run past you, right?
attack then. Yep. Thank you.
But hey, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but yes,
Yeah,
that will
yeah.
hit.
Toit. So that's a good 8.
Only thing I can reach.
All right. And he kind of like turns because he was just using his movement, and then he's going to stomp the ground. Everybody. So basically, Liam and the horses
What a dick.
need to make some con saves.
You need me to make a save for the horses, or are you doing that?
Your choice, Lucas. Do you want to save for the horses or should
You can. I'm gonna roll
I?
a
Okay.
crap. I can. Yep.
Your war horse has a +1.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Huh.
Poor
Well,
horses.
we got some horse meat
Yeah.
and horse leather. Look at that. Look at that, Lapinia.
Actually,
And-
1, 2, 3.
and
I should have
bones
asked.
and tufts.
Violet or Sentry, do you want to roll for your horse?
Do a save for my horse? You got it.
Yeah. Roll a d20. Do a save for your horse.
She did.
Yeah.
I was
I
mad
had
at her anyway.
I had rolled a 4 and you rolled a 6, so I guess that's all of the horses like are dead now. So.
Oh yeah, what was the damage on that?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. It could be really low.
Could be.
All of my mounts are
Or
doomed to
super
die.
high. One of the two. It can only go two.
Or average. We probably should have
Or
taken
average.
average.
No.
Can we change our answer?
No. That's less than average.
And a
Just
3
Yeah, there
and
we
a
go.
6.
They have 13 hit points for the riding
Oh,
horses, and the war horse had 19. So yes, sorry.
Got it. Gonna take up necromancy. I think it's a good idea for everyone. Skeletal horses. Just saying.
That one
Do
happens.
horses get saving points or the hit points I gave them?
Nah, I mean you could heal animals and stuff, but no, they don't get like death saves and stuff.
They did.
Oh, I wasn't sure if they would get the 16 HP that I gave my allies.
No, because you were just doing a heal of your allies that were damaged.
Fair. Anybody who is damaged.
It was Lapinia, Moral. Yes.
Yeah. Because I said to any of my allies.
No.
And y'all were all within range.
So yes, with some noises that I will not be too descriptive with because of my feelings, if not anybody else's. But yes, your mouse just died, and it was all behind the curtain, so only Liam had to witness it.
And since he came through the door, and I had ready my action, can I cast Fairy Fire?
Well, you can't actually see him all the way yet because he's kind of right here.
Oh, he's still in the curtain. Gotcha.
But well, I guess technically he would have moved right. No. Yeah, you can see him. I'll let you go and use like surround zone stuff.
Gotcha.
He's like halfway through the curtain, which is enough to at least see him.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
See if it works.
This session has been a time already. No, it works.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Everybody gets advantage on attacking this bitch. You can be prone and
yeah,
get advantage.
he just killed your horses, so I know.
I'm gonna have him glow pink, hot pink.
Excellent.
My favorite color. Yeah.
I don't really have a hot pink.
Okay. Sorry.
This is moral we're talking about. My favorite color is green. His favorite color is hot pink. Thank you.
I don't really have a hot pink, but I can put an effect on him.
That is perfect. Yes.
It's kind of magenta, but yeah. All right.
It's kind of more of a magenta. Don't you worry about it.
All right, and Violet.
Violet's angry.
That's fair.
She's very mad. That was her horse to be mad at, and now it's dead. So, she is gonna sacrifice herself pretty much, cause she don't give a fuck about her
jeez.
life no more. She's gonna fly.
I didn't know
and
you were
this-
such a horse girl. I'm sorry, Violet.
Yeah, I mean, it was either leave her in the dust on the bridge, but she came, so like here we are. Yeah, so I am going to run and claw at his face.
Fair.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's good plan.
No, I'm gonna claw at his face. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'll use my claws to climb him to get to his face.
Okay.
As my claws only do like 1d4. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll
don't you have like a rapier or something?
Yeah, I have the
Yeah, she
rapier and
does.
the dagger, so I'll
Okay.
use those.
Again, just I know you say you don't care about your life anymore.
Yeah,
You
no,
can
I'm
always hurt him on the way
totally
out.
focused on the horse. That's a 22, boyo.
Oh yeah. Where are you?
On his face.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
5.
Stab.
Do I have? I don't know if I have. I think I'm too
What
low
are
of
your
a level.
feats?
I don't know anymore.
Okay. Well, like on an existential level, or like you're not sure about your sheet.
On an existential level, I'm looking at my sheet. One second.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so like bonus action to to attack him or disengage.
You can use a bonus action to disengage if you, or attack. Yeah, be your call.
I'm gonna stay on his face. I'm just gonna like climb to the back of his head with my claws in his eyes. That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay.
You live your best life, girl.
The opposite of disengaging.
I mean, I couldn't like even if I disengage, I can't get very far, and they're like hurling lightning bolts and shit. So I'll stay on his face.
Sometimes those things have to recharge. Anyway, Lavinia, you are still under the table next to a extra crispy moral.
I'm like, could be better.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
That you do.
Good. Let's see.
Fairy fire is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
See if you get a
Yeah, 21
crit.
hits anyway. So you create a ghostly skeletal hand in its space and attempt to assail it with the chill of the grave. Spell descriptions are half the drama and fun, right? Yep.
I think you can roll on the chill touch on the.
Because you're
Yeah,
fifth.
You click it.
You're 5th level, right? Did you click the word chill touch in the chat? All right, try that.
Worries.
No, I'm not. This wasn't me being critical. It was legit. All right.
That was a good shot.
Nice.
So now the hand is still clinging to the target. So there it shall be. Right. Now, let's see. The round has begun again. So make an attack of opportunity, Liam, as the storm giant attempts to blow past you through the curtain.
Oh, jeez. Do I get stunning strike yet? No, I don't. That'd be awesome, though, right? Oh, and I get advantage.
Yes. That's a good
Alright.
thing you did. That would not have hit.
13 damage.
Here we go. All right. So, yes, but you do strike him on the back as he runs through. And let's see. Right here. Oh, you're still on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, actually. This is absolutely absurd. Okay, so he's going to attempt to grab you off of his head. Actually, he's running here, but you just dug your claws in, stayed, so it's just like. So I'll let you contest his. Oh, I think he's probably gonna grab you. We'll see how we do.
He's probably gonna grab me. How do I contest it?
I'll let you make a dex or an acrobatics, a dex save or an acrobatics check if you.
Yeah. It's usually athletics or acrobatics
Yeah.
for Garaples. Yeah.
Well, a
Yes.
dex save is what I would usually do.
I was gonna say you could do. It's usually in athletics versus acrobatics, but at least I could allow dex saves with like
Yes.
two.
That's it. It's
plus.
it's athletics. Their athletics versus your athletics or acrobatics. You get to choose.
Yep.
As
Okay,
the-
so not a save.
not
It's
a
just my
Not
acrobatics.
save.
Yeah.
Do I still get advantage?
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
No, the fairy fire is only. for
Oh, the fairy
attacking.
fire only works on attacks. Yeah, I didn't know why you. I thought you had it.
I was just clarifying.
No, absolutely.
I got a 12.
You're in a hand.
I'm in a hand.
Like respects, like, ugh.
She can't accept my love. She refuses.
All right, moral.
Okay then. Let's see. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna cast. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm gonna do Mind Spike on him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes an intelligence saving throw.
Sure, go ahead and click it so you can share it in the chat, though.
Gotcha.
That's okay. Just so everyone can see this. Excellent. Intelligence save.
Aww.
Damn it.
Dang it.
Oof.
So close.
I was rooting for you.
I was rooting for me too, but that's okay because I'm gonna go underneath the chair.
Like, I will do an even bigger hide.
And no, that should be it. Yeah.
Liam?
Oh yeah, I'm running up on him.
I suspected as much.
Yeah. I'll make my first attack with my quarterstaff with advantage. And he's saying, "Get out of my friend's house!" And he goes for it. So that's 24.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another 9 damage to him. And then I'll bonus action Flurry of Blows, spend some key, and do an unarmed strike. With advantage. That's an 18. Does an 18 hit, Kale?
That does.
Yes. And then that's another 8 damage. And then as part of my Flurry of Blows, now that I've taken Way of Mercy, I can use Hand of Healing on myself as part of Flurry of Blows and heal myself basically an unarmed strike's worth of damage.
Excellent.
So it's you roll you restore a number of hit points equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use Flurry of Blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature without spending a key point for the healing.
Good utility. I like that.
Yeah.
And then
Awesome.
should I just roll a d4?
Sure, and I was gonna say too, if we haven't already established it, I do want to give you guys at least a minimum of half healing when you're in combat. So I'm not sure if the staff did that earlier or not. Just checking on my phone, that was a while ago. So again, I'm going to do a minimum of at least half. And you don't add anything to those D4s?
Yeah, plus my wisdom modifier.
There we go.
So
So
which
make that at
is
least a 2.
2. So it's I get 3 3 health back.
Hey,
Better than a poke in the eye.
Yep. And in your current state, that won't hurt you, you know?
Yeah. So that's my full turn. And I'm just taking a stance, like, trying to keep his attention on me. Saying,
Okay.
hey, over here. Fight me, you coward.
Okay. Let's see.
Because finally he has an enemy in front of him.
Yep. I will say this. Moral is only going to take a second to shout to Sephiroth and say, "You don't happen to have any bottles of acid just laying around, do you?"
And he says, maybe upstairs?
We can't get. Got it.
Perfect. I need to put a whole bunch of them in a bag.
Oh, good. Okay, so he's thinking. He's gonna cast this on. Well, he's gonna cast that on both. Wait, when you shake when a creature he falls. Okay, never mind. Here's what I was gonna do then. I was just doesn't have just skill athletics, so that's why. So that's why it goes this way. So Zephyros is going to hurl the Storm Giant, but cast Featherfall as his reaction. So as he goes sailing off of the cloud platform.
Nice.
Storm Giant's blasting off again.
Basically, right? So he's gonna wisdom save immediately to see where he is with that.
That'd be negative there, Ghost Rider. He's still
He went the
mad.
way of the ponies.
Well, he's feather falling. Mainly to avoid smashing any innocent people below.
Right.
That's actually why. It's not for the Storm Giant's sake. Okay. Violet Blossom.
Violet
Would like to bite this hand as hard as she can and
Okay.
cast Inflict Wounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I clicked the spell in this, right?
Let's see.
You go to
Make a
your
melee spell attack. So you should go into the spell book, right?
yeah. Go to core actually.
Yeah.
It should be under your attack rolls in the center where you see like dagger.
Oh yeah, that's
short
right.
bow.
Because they're the two areas.
That's look right there. You don't. Yeah.
I haven't got NPC sheets, so
Does an 18 hit?
yes, it does.
My cat is attacking my feet.
Nice.
Right to a finger.
Ow!
Ouch.
Gonna do anything else? Let's see,
I
you
don't
didn't want to
think
stay
I
on his
have.
head or whatever, right?
I don't
But you
really
do have
have
movement.
bonus actions, but I mean, yeah, if I could get out of his hand, that'd be nice.
I think.
Yeah, I'll disengage.
Bonus
Yeah,
action disengage.
yeah, exactly. And then you still have some movement, so you could get away from him.
Where are you?
Use that
Oh.
rogue action economy.
Okay, moving away. Thanks.
Lopini.
He was facing straight towards the
currently-
table, I believe.
Yeah, he was facing the table. He hasn't been able to turn around yet.
I'm like a little terrier biting at his heel. Like, pay attention to me.
I love it.
Well, whenever he does, but it knocks them prone
If
if he fails. Dexterity. And
he
I don't
falls.
think he made it. He fell down, go boom.
Nice. So at least got that effect,
And it's considered difficult terrain now, right? Yeah, throw up the spell description for us so we can see it.
Can you guys see that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Zephyros would super love it if you renovated for him right now, but you could try. I mean, that doesn't mean he wants to refloor it. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Is it the Giants' turn?
Yeah, should be. All right. So you get your wish, Liam, and he turns around to face you.
Yeah.
No, that's right. No, he appear at you, and from the ground, he's going to make an attack. Then he has multi-attack. So
That's good.
So there we go. So that hit. It's actually pretty low.
What kind of damage is that?
Slashing.
Okay, I have that.
Excellent. Hey, half of your round down.
So that'd be what, 11?
Yeah, right.
I'm still up barely.
And then you're the one who cast the spell and knocked him over, Lopenia. So the second swipe that he takes, swipe at you.
Well, is Lopania? Yeah, I guess Lopania's in.
Oh, definitely.
Not a roll low.
It's a good session, though, right? Question mark?
Yeah, he only did 33 points damage, which he'll take some damage back because of absorb elements. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, you're resistant. No, not just slashing.
Not resistant, but the absorb elements takes the damage, and then it'll dish it back out whenever he's attacked.
There we go.
Oh, never mind. It's whenever you hit with a melee attack. My bad. My bad.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm not very familiar, so
Yeah, absorb elements is whenever the Pina hits with a melee attack, does an extra d6 of the chosen element type.
gotcha.
Whew.
So it and so moral
Okay.
giants on the ground, just like lashing around with the great sword. Friends don't look so hot, except for Violet. She's looking okay.
Um, how how's Liam looking? Liam looking okay, haggard. What's Liam's not doing good?
No.
Liam,
he's-
are you
he's very
bloodied?
bad. Oh yeah, I have 7 HP left, y'all.
Oh baby. Um, I think I have a move because I can't get over to you in time.
I can't hear you, bud.
Sorry. He says, I know this is going to sound weird, but just come over and let me touch you.
You don't have to twist my arm, bud.
So say I think
Come
he's
here.
heard weirder.
Actually, his movement will go. Yeah, one step closer. That way, he doesn't get out of. I don't even know what the attack range is.
They
I guess
have
it's.
it's like a 10-foot reach basically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll move. I think that works.
Yeah, because then I don't have to leave his area of threat, and I
Right.
don't have to disengage. I can just
Come over and let me touch you
Yeah.
as I prepare cure wounds because your boy has a level in artificer.
Schnibbity snap.
So you guys were worried you had too much healing, and I was like, you'll be fine.
This is still not good.
Just take the healing. Take the healing.
So it's my turn next, and he's just prepping an action, right?
I prepped my action.
Yeah.
He has the cure wounds ready for you. As soon as you move close to him, it's pop.
Yeah. So first thing I do is I move.
Okay. Alrighty. He's going to cast cure wounds as a second level.
Okay.
And is taking a potion of healing a object interaction or an action?
It's a you take a full action to use an item unless you are a specific rogue subclass.
Did you roll that healing? There we go.
It's 9 plus my intelligence. So hold on.
Yay.
Get 12 health back, buddy.
Whew.
Very nice.
I'm at 19. So yeah, I'll go ahead.
Oh wait, sorry. Let me go back. Scroll through.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and attack with my quarterstaff. That's a 26.
Very nice.
That's 13 damage.
Very nice.
Nope. I didn't need to do that. Sorry.
How's he looking?
he's definitely starting. You know, he's taking some damage from you guys, but he's still looking alright.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and unarmed strike him, and I'll use my Hand of Harm, which I can use to I use my key to inflict wounds. And when I hit with an unarmed strike, I spend a key point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to my martial arts die, which is D4 plus wisdom. And
That's sick.
And I guess I'll just do my unarmed strike with advantage. I still haven't crit, so that's still 20.
Oh, I see. So you're doing your normal damage, which is your unarmed strike plus the strength, and then you add on top of that damage your martial arts die plus wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be
that's all
useless.
necrotic.
Yeah.
And that's necrotic, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, geez. So 7, and then
I'll just roll a die. For +2.
So 6 plus 7, 13 plus the damage you did beforehand, which was what, like
13.
Jeez.
That was
Good
nice.
chunk, buddy. Whale 'em.
Hell yeah.
And that's necrotic, and the other one's just bludgeoning, like just regular punchy damage.
Would you like to do anything else before your turn ends?
I'm good.
Use another key point to flick them off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you can do that as a free action, right? Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zephyros takes a 5-foot step. He's peering into his broken window, and he casts Levitate on the Stormwind. And so he's gonna be opposing it with the Constitution save. It's pretty good at those.
Not good enough.
No soup for you.
So you guys can make attacks of opportunity as a Storm Giant begins to. He's still like laying down, you know, because he never got up, but starts to levitate up.
Good to go.
Only the ones within range, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Liam, Moral, and Lupinia can make attacks.
The 17 hit.
Kind of like, yes, levitating him towards you, Violet, but still like.
Stab, because that's all I got.
That's fine.
It's like a pinata.
I wasn't sure if my whip would reach.
Well, it's not going through your range yet, so you weren't.
Making sure.
But he'll probably continue next round if this continues. Yes, believe unless you have combat casting, it should be a melee attack, right? When you're doing a reaction attack of opportunity.
100% correct. Yep. Unless you have a Warcaster, you cannot make attacks of opportunity with your magic spells, specifically cantrips. It states.
Good old fashioned stabums.
So did I hit him with my
dagger?
That
works. Yeah. He had a 16 AC. As he levitates his way out. So you guys have been clearing it.
Take that, you son of a bitch.
Nice.
You almost.
There we go.
Hey. Booyah, baby.
Booyah, Kasha.
Alright. So, Violet, the Storm Giant, is currently laying flat on his back, but floating in the air toward the open window.
I know.
Yeah,
whip. Yeah. I'm gonna do this.
Do this.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna
And at that,
Nice.
yeah.
As long as you have advantage, you get that sneak attack.
Yeah, I forgot about sneak attack for the both attacks that I did before.
Yeah,
So.
and I, you know.
It's all good.
It's all good.
That was a
Okay.
fuck ton of damage, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I could have done it with my inflict wounds and my rapier attack, and I was like, oh, I'm dumb.
Yeah. So, Lavinia. Nothing to see
Do you
here.
happen to have a gust or a spell, like kind of like that just pushes him? Unless.
Just imagine like one of those things you use to stoke like
The
the flame of the
bellows.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the bellows is like.
Sounds great.
It's pretty amazing as an idea, though.
Yeah. Someone's actual prestidigitation is them just coming up with bellows. Just
Your dice are having a mood, my guy. All right.
They are okay.
You're mad about those horses. I get it. I understand. Yeah, we can mess with it.
Although I'd love it dueling magic style. That'd be pretty dope.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Are you gonna use any movement?
Exactly.
It's a fantastic idea.
Health good. Health good.
Your fighter level. Hey.
It's better than nothing.
Right.
Look at you go.
So he's levitating, but he's not
Right.
actually completely helpless.
No, he can kick off of things. He can pole vault. He can bullet his way through us.
Well, his lightning's, his thunderstorm.
Oh, lightning's a thing.
Oh yeah, you forgot about that, huh?
Oh no, I didn't. I was just like, yeah, no. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and get through it. Yeah, he can't necessarily do thunderstomp, but definitely can do the lightning. Okay, yeah. I'll just go ahead and lay down. I'll go lay down.
Violet. Yes, that's right. Violet Blossom. He just attacked him with the whip.
Yeah, I did.
Throw a rock at you.
That hits.
Yeah.
Just barely, but it's attack you can see.
Yeah, I'm gonna uncanny dodge that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'll take the 23 damage. Thank you.
He glares meanly at you, just like. And as it's his turn, he's gonna say to Zephyros in Giant, but I believe most of you understand Giant.
Yeah.
That you know, you might be hard to kill, but these small friends of yours aren't so tough.
In Giant, I say, we're not the ones floating, asshole.
Nice.
And I just stomp my foot and say, I am did.
Excellent.
The same giant, like, right, real. You looking real fucking terrifying, floating in the air there. Yeah, I like. No, believe me, I feel the hole from earlier, but fuck you anyways.
Yeah, right. It is your turn, so let's go ahead and put your money where your
Perfect.
mouth is on that
Yeah, well, let us see.
one. You're like, I like how you pull into your old man suddenly. Um,
Well, all right. So I'm just gonna. I guess there's rocks around here somehow.
can
He did
magically
just throw
produce
one
them
at
and then
me.
throw them. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's at least one rock. The rest
At
right
le- at
next
least
to the
one.
line.
Actually, it's gonna be like.
Because if you remember, each type of giant's rocks have a distinct look based on the kind that they are. So that tells me that they must be something that they're magically kind of producing and throwing. Because it doesn't
Gotcha.
matter where they are. It doesn't say when available they throw rocks.
Yeah, and the rock is essentially a boulder to us, right?
I mean, yes,
Or is it?
but
Or is it?
yeah, it's pretty large. Like I can actually see.
Really, it's whether or not it's more than 5 pounds.
Is
And
it
it's
Oh,
bigger.
is it bigger than my Yeti? It's bigger than a bread box.
Let's see. I feel like it would probably be at least. I think they actually, if I remember right, they take up a 5 foot square, and I'm gonna say that we.
Yeah.
It just tried to squish me for 46 damage.
Hold on. Let me just make a movement real quick. I think that's good trajectory. All right. I take a couple of items just in my bag, just a couple of them, like make sure like it feels like around about 5 pounds. Cool. And I'm gonna put my dagger in there, a couple other like knickknacks, baubles. Let's just say that I have 5 objects in total in the bag. Okay, 5 objects total in the bag. And then I'm like, yeah, this feels about right. And I like lift up the bag, and I was like, should never fight against artillery. I cast catapult on the bag with all the items in it, and I
Nice.
fired directly at him.
All right. Appreciate you trying to line up your shot. You know.
Oh, that is an attack roll, and I do have a. No, it's a DC. Never mind. It's a dodge.
Huh. Yeah.
It is a dexterity, a saving throw.
I'm gonna say.
Oh.
Well, I was gonna say it was disadvantaged, but it doesn't seem to have mattered.
He's a large target. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Large target floating.
Yeah. I think it's kind of silly with this text save. Let me see.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit him then. If that's the roll.
Well, bummer. Heads up, Rose.
No.
Well, it's according to how he wants to run it. It can just hit the side of the wall.
Zephyros.
Yeah, as I'd say, like if you actually look, let me see, it depends on how much way you were going with it. Like, you know, doesn't have to hit him.
Yeah. All right. I'll just prep that for next time.
Yeah, it wasn't the most skillful of dodges, but still a dodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I literally look at everybody and says, give me a whole bunch of items and a small bag.
Liam is gently floating toward the window.
Yeah. Can Liam like take a running jump and try to hit him?
Sure.
Bap him
So
through
that's
the
an
window.
athletics for that.
I have
For the running up and jumping part. So he's about 20 feet up in the air. There we go.
That's 21.
Yeah, 21 will do it with your strength. And go ahead and roll your attack. Still have advantage because of the fairy fire.
Yes. 24.
Not that you needed it.
Apparently not.
Yeah, right.
Now do that freaking double dragon jump kick.
Yeah, I'll do a flurry of blows and spend my last key point, I guess. And
Double kick.
I'll heal myself a bit more. Should I?
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can do both of those things, right?
Well, I can flurry of blows and then use one of my flurry of blows to use my hand of healing. So I'll roll my first flurry.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to these new class options and all of these things.
So that hits.
I think it hits there, partner. And shit. Okay.
Is he still up?
21
He
damage.
is. He's not looking so great, but he is still up.
I'll hit him again. Come on, crit. Okay. Gee, what? I mean,
You're very consistent though.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's
I,
yeah, definitely.
I'm not smart
Liam's
enough
been
to
putting in the
cheat.
reps.
Yeah, but it's not like it's just good enough cheating, not like too much. He's not cheating, folks. He's not cheating. That was an elaborate ruse by us.
Let's see. So he's maintaining his concentration.
Yeah.
Oh wait, are you doing something else, Liam?
No, I was trying to count all my damage, but I do a bit of damage and then I.
Oh yeah, I know.
You do
I've been
30 damage, I
subtracting him as
believe.
you've been doing them, so.
I'm sorry, you did 31 damage. My bad. My math was all wrong. Jeez. Ouch. Oof.
I think it's 29.
Oof.
Still decent.
Absolutely.
Some hot D's. Huh. Goodbye.
So, yeah, yeah, exactly. Zephyros kind of floats him out of the window.
I wanted that sword.
Well, one of them had dropped them outside.
Yeah.
Before, remember? And this, yes, and so just heard him out there, and he's going to. Nope, probably not. So you try to do, yeah, that's gonna make it. But he's still floating outward.
Yep.
All right, Violet.
I would like to use my climbing speed to climb out the window.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna get on him because I'm pretty sure Zephyros is gonna drop him. So I'm gonna just whack him with my whip.
Just imagine you like in the big windowsill, just.
Well, hold on one I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead instead, because I don't have to touch him for that.
Yeah, and he's damaged, so this is
Yeah.
a save from his part, right? Or do you roll that? Do you put it in the chat?
Yeah. But it doesn't say
save.
to save.
It's a wisdom save.
Oh, okay.
Ouch.
Oh, boo.
Sad.
Almost did 2d12. Almost.
And sneak attack only works if I hit, right? I'm
Yeah.
assuming
Yes.
that would only make sense. Okay, cool.
Lepinia. It's being floated out. Basically, yeah, it's like right here. Yeah, you can see him.
You can see a toe. One hot toe.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, baby.
For magic missile.
Forward facing. Twee on next. And Tweon, you know what? Pretty decent
Nice.
damage.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Sounds smart.
No smart, only crush.
Right. Yeah, he should be at least right here.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Alguda. Your running jump kick, double dragon. Fucking disgusting damage. Beautiful.
So he just like went and hid, and so he's got you in his sight. He's got Zephyros in his sight, and let's see if he'll try to attack Zephyros. He can reach it better from where he's secretly levitating. That'll hit.
I also wasn't sure if I would have gotten that attack of opportunity when he floated by me out the window.
He was flown pretty high up, and that's
Okay.
why I didn't say, because
It's okay, I
technically
figured
he's
it out.
going. Oh yeah, it doesn't hurt, because I was thinking about it. I was like, it depends on kind of how it goes right there. Let's see. Yeah. Then
Nothing.
oh, he has to make concentration saves to maintain his levitating,
Oh.
right? Or does it constitution save?
Yeah, it's a constitution save.
Constitution. My brain plays too much math. There
Oh.
you go. The first one. Oh yeah,
Freaking maintaining like a boss.
that's right. All right, moral. That's right. He's like, I have to live to see my love again.
So I'm kicking you off my island. Biatch.
Right. All right, moral. How's it going with your?
Alright. Got another bag. I'm gonna fill it with some more shit. I'm gonna get right over here. Huh? Like maybe a loose tile or something like that.
I'll say yes for dramatic effects, some loose tiling. It's not rough terrain, but
So he gets around about 5 pounds worth of rock.
there we go.
And we'll get it
Right.
again.
Let's
We'll say around
say-
about. I said he gets around about 5 pounds worth of rocks or
Right.
tile, and he like puts it in his bag. And he's like, "All right." swear to fucking God.
You disadvantaged him and everything.
Yeah, so I do it again. Catapult right at him, and he has to make a dexterity saving throw. He makes it again. Good for him. Asshole.
He's like, I'm so happy for you.
He's like,
Got your number.
Back. Someone, please. And let's see. Bonus. I'm right next to Liam. Yeah. I'm like, I literally go, here you go, buddy. And he slaps him on the shoulder, and he casts Dragon's Breath, and it's gonna be it's gonna be acid damage.
Yeah.
So he can cast it as a bonus action. And he goes, "Go get him, Tiger," because I can't hit worth shit.
He belches.
There we go. All right, Liam.
I think I feel some acid reflux.
You just might.
So, do we want like Liam will call out to Zephyros and ask like, or do we want him to float away, or can we get him and ask him stuff?
Fair.
I say, have a nice trip. See you next fall.
Yeah, right. That's what he was gonna do.
But don't we think that I mean, I don't know if we came to this conclusion in game, but don't we think the Storm Giants were the ones that might have taken the Nightstone?
It was a thought between Cloud Giants or Storm Giants. That was the original thought, because 3 floated down, grabbed the Nightstone, floated back out of that place.
You were pretty sure they were Cloud Giants.
Okay.
For the Nightstone.
I mean, we can ask and see if he knows anything about it, but like, or I can just let him go. I mean, I have a net. I was thinking I could throw my net and catch him and pull him down, but like, I don't know if if we want to try and knock him out and have him more at our disposal, I guess.
I mean, I know we're having a moment where we're pausing time in the game, but like, if you want him on the ground, like Zephyros is the one who's levitating. He's not like floating himself out the window.
Yeah. Can we ask him stuff, Zephyros? Would that be all right?
Yeah, we just.
So what are you gonna do with your turn then? Because Zephyros is next, he can end his levitate.
Yeah,
like
he'll.
We would have to knock him out because he can still kill all of us easy.
Yeah, so you might want to, That's fair enough.
If I can't attack this turn, I don't think I can like. Yeah. Yeah. I guess he'll run onto the other side of Zephyros and ask him if he's all right.
He's like, yes, I'm angry and bothered, but I'm fine.
All right. Oh, it's your Cloud. I'll let you decide what to do.
Well, let's see, it's his turn.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Let's see. Well, he was just going to float. Yeah, it is sometimes.
Yeah. Also, won't they just be able to come back? They got here.
Well, they might not, though. They might not want to. And he's gonna just raise up his staff with both of his hands. He's gonna drop the levitate spell and take his staff in both of his hands and just swing it down onto the storm giant. Let's see.
Did that hit? I'm not sure.
It's like I'm just gonna knock him out, you know. Yeah, and between the two of those, should be enough to just take him down. Yes, and incapacitate him. Just kind of on the ground. He just said, took a staff of the magic in both his hands.
Whack,
onto
whack.
him. But yeah, both hands, so you get that extra damage, you know.
Everyone's image just disappeared from me.
Oop.
Then you need to reconnect.
Yeah, you.
He can't see you either.
Yeah.
There we
you
go.
are.
Ta-da!
No, the weather's cleared up now. And unless you're gonna do anything different, Zephyros is just gonna pick up the storm giant and carry him inside.
No.
Yeah, no, we're good. We just need to figure the best course of restraining him for when he wakes up.
Got any big ropes here, or a lot of ropes, or some way to restrain him easily?
Yeah, I've got rope and I've got a net. Got hempen
But are
rope.
our ropes gonna do anything against the storm giant?
Picking up both of you guys for on 2 mics for Josh and Sentry.
Yeah, you're echoing off each other a bit.
He was
Somebody's
holding
only
his
having
push to talk button. I was just saying, are our ropes gonna do anything to restrain a storm giant? They're like shoestrings.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could just do it a bunch of times, like loop it around a bunch of times. We would hope. Or like get chains. Do you have any chains, Zephyros?
Zephyros, do you happen to have anything to restrain anybody of this size?
He says, well, you kind of like float upstairs and start rummaging around in some things. You can just hear from downstairs, just kind of like clattering and clunking as he's kind of muttering to himself. Liam, are you still outside? There's that giant greatsword out there.
Yeah, I think Liam wants to snatch that sucker up.
Violet wants to run to her horse and do spare the dying.
Yeah, that go again, Josh. Pop spare the dying into the chat for me. Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. Did it do double their health whenever it attacked? I can't even remember.
That's what I was
like
just gonna look.
33.
I'm gonna look back because it was pretty high. That's actually the factor there, as I'm trying to decide if they were permadead or not. Let's see.
Yeah. The only one I could think that may be able to be revived.
My warhorse might still be alive, or still.
It didn't have very much either.
It's necromancy. What's it matter if they're dead?
Yeah, 29 damage. Thank you. So Liam, look at as let's say, I'm pretty sure the warhorse has like 14 or something.
Yeah,
I think you said
I
warhorse
had an
19.
18 or 19.
So the
Yeah,
warhorse
19. There we go.
can still be brought back.
Yeah, so I can go Spirit of the Dying on the warhorse.
Riding versus
I see her doing
13.
that, and I'll go to the.
But you can. How about this, pilot? Roll 2d10 plus 2, and that's what your horse's HP is.
Who, me?
Unless it's worse. Like as far as what its total stats are, because the 13 is the average. But yeah, you could spare the dying on the warhorse. Leaves it. Roll. No, it had a.
It had a weak
It
constitution.
was a thing that only the warhorse is going to be able to beat. So
Then I will carve up the horses.
Yeah, I'll spare the dying on the warhorse.
Oh geez.
Yep.
I mean, might as well if I can't save it.
Yeah. Well, so it's like muttering around, and doing things.
Actually, spare the dying on the warhorse, and I'll do 1 level of Cure Wounds on it. Six plus 3, baby. 9 HP, Beck, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your warhorse is back.
Yay.
So he's kind of. So after some time, Zephyros will kind of float back down, and he's got a bunch of like kind of thick cords and stuff like that. So he took down all of his curtains.
That works.
Yeah. So he's kind of like, I'm no expert in ropes and knots.
I feel like.
But he'll kind of throw the ropes down on the ground for you guys if you want to use them.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll look at Violet and be like, "You're pretty good at rope tying. You want to just point us in the direction of how to tie this rope?"
I am in mourning.
Moral looks genuinely confused, and then he squints his eyes.
He's like,
we had that particular horse for.
I was with my horse for years.
That was your horse, though.
It was my horse.
Yeah, that was Violet. Yeah, she took her own horse.
No, hold on. She took her own horse from the barracks, from a place that we teleported to, which we didn't have horses before. We got a horse in that town that was not her horse exactly.
No, we
teleported with our horses to that city.
I thought we didn't teleport with horses at all.
That's the whole reason he has a war horse.
Because we teleported, and I remember distinctly of us not having anything.
No.
We were in the middle of the town.
We brought our horses to the teleport and then put them at the army barracks.
Yeah. Because my memory is that we were in the center of everything, and he just teleported us to the very front of the building, or the town. But okay, that worked.
That was the whole reason we had the war horse.
No, we had that crazy like scroll thing, and we were able to use it to take all of our stuff, including our horses.
Yeah, because
that's how we got to branch in.
Josh, because you got all greedy. You're like, where can I get that spell? And that was like far later.
Yeah, that's also why I had better
animal handling, because she was my trained horse. And I'm sad. But I will assist in rope tying, I guess, through my tears.
When they give the storm giant this 1-inch speed.
I'm gonna murder the next storm giant I see.
We're just gonna tie this up the best that we can. I don't know how to rope tie, so I will help whoever's better at it.
What stat would rope tying be?
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely proficient.
Even through your tears.
And since we're helping, you can roll it. Take the best. Right.
Oh, nice. Yeah, does it say you can do it twice? Yeah, the first one.
19.
Yeah, so you've got them tied up. I don't know if you want to keep him like anywhere particular. can always
tie
prop
him
him
to
up
the
in the
table?
chair.
I want to tie him to the table in the most uncomfortable position I can.
I want to
But we're
wake up
not
with
keep-
kinks in all of his body parts.
And so when he does wake up, we'll be doing some interrogating, right, or some questioning. What are you trying to do right now? Now you're in mourning again, right, Violet?
Yeah,
Since you
I'm
helped.
crying in a corner for sure.
Okay, there we go. And
She didn't listen at all, but she was fine.
So sorry for your
Yeah.
loss.
yeah, so Zephyros just says
I can't imagine what it would be like to lose the animal you've grown so close to over the course of this adventure.
Lucas
Well, she was
is,
mine in the military, so.
No, as I know, Lucas is having a bitter flashback to our One Ring campaign where he's Rider of Rohan lost his
It's my
Ooh.
entire
I
character.
understand.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yes.
You don't bring horses to Dol Guldur, alright? Let's
and
just leave
and
it
you
at that.
definitely you don't bring horses to Dol Guldur, and you don't leave them on the other side of the mountains.
No.
Both of those things are true.
And apparently,
So-
you don't bring them into a sky giant's house and tie them safely in a room by the front door.
No.
So sad.
And you don't expect to get attacked on a sky house. But on that same note, hi buddy. Wake up, wake up.
Should I cast Spare the Dying?
Oh
He's
no,
not
he's
dead.
alive.
Okay.
Yeah, the Stormgiant's alive. He declared non-lethal when he was attacking him.
Can
He was
I
like, just enough to
just
take him out.
climb all over him very painfully with my claws? Like I'm making really painful biscuits.
So it's basically my cat in the morning when I'm trying to sleep in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, hey, wake up. Hey. Wake up.
Yeah, I was gonna say they are spellcasters, so you guys can decide. I'll leave it up to you.
Snap the goat in his mouth. But first.
Half of
Okay,
one of the
it's gonna
horses
really
that's not yours. It's just horse ass. Got it.
Does that say it's like putting the horse head in the bed? Can I have one moment?
On this, the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah, right.
You just hear the music playing in the background.
Yeah, for sure. Were you gonna do anything else for yourselves before you woke him up, or were you gonna just go as is?
It was like, yeah, you know what?
Listen, I'm only the DM, so
I'll take well, all we have time for is a short rest, so I'm gonna take a short rest.
Could we take long rests if we take shifts watching him?
Technically.
I think that'd be nice. Sephiroth gets first shift.
that's fine. I was gonna say, from my point, looking at time it is, I was thinking that maybe you can pass the long rested shifts, and then maybe wrap when we're waking him up and do the questioning next time, or how do you guys want to do? Like, you could try to squeeze it in here, but I feel like we'll be better off if we do it next week.
I
That sounds like
agree.
a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Do long rest.
Right. So you wanted Zephyros to watch him first, and he says, of course, is a intruder in my home, because like kind of sits down in the chair at the table and pulls out, and this will be your first time seeing this, I believe, his spell book. So he has a jewel encrusted spell book that he pulls from within his robes, and he's just gonna start flipping through it and muttering to himself as he sits there watching this Swing Giant.
What's the stats for that greatsword, by the way?
Sure. Let's see. So well, it's gonna be huge, right? I think you have to use that two-handed,
Yeah.
just
And
because of the size of it.
yeah.
Um, let's see. Here's one. I think it's a plus. Like it has a. What's the usual plus on a great sword? Is it's just your strength modifier?
Oh, if we're are you going off of like Pathfinder idea ruling
No, well, it's more of
for great weapons?
no, it's more of I'm just thinking of trying to make it make sense because it's not going to be just the same stats as a regular race. Really big.
No, because I think was it they were doing was it 2d8 or 2d12
They're doing
or
66.
3d something?
Well,
It
it's
was
They're doing
regular.
66.
66.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
a regular greatsword.
Yeah, it's 2d6. Do you want to just like make it a middle ground and do like 3d8 or something like that
Yeah, I think that would
for
make
the
sense
item,
because
or
I'm
3d10?
trying to make it to where it makes sense for his character to have as well, and not be just completely
Right.
ridiculous because he's not going to be able to use it exactly the same way that they could. But yeah, I could say I definitely want it to still be a bit better than a regular great sword, just because of the size of it, but it's still not a magical item. And so it's just trying to figure
Right.
out, and I can modify that up and
He's swinging
or
around
have
a hunk of metal.
I can have it ready for you, especially if you help me remember. I can have it on your sheet for next session because I think I'll have to make that item for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just yes. So we said it's 3d8 and then plus your strength like usual. So all right. So
That'd be
let's see.
gross. All right. Then
So after his shift of resting goes by, who was going second? Okay, so Lapenia, he'll kind of wake you up and go and kind of levitate upstairs to his room. Roll a d20. So your shift will pass uneventfully.
But basically, as my feature, like a monk feature, is dedicated weapon. So I can basically dedicate myself like that weapon to my craft and use it as a monk weapon.
That's pretty cool. I mean, is it specific to like a singular type of weapon or a single weapon?
Oh, okay, never mind.
This my sword. I'm asking.
It must lack the heavy and special properties.
There we go. Yeah, but this one though, it's you're at least looking like a cool anime protagonist. So you have something going for you.
yeah. Actually, are you Kensai monk? Are you a Kensai monk yet, or
No.
you're Way of the Mercy? That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kensai monks get to choose 3 weapons that are their, and they can be anything.
But I'm still proficient in martial weapons.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna throw this as exotic. I'll let you at least be able to use it, but because it is still a great source thing. So yes, Violet. During yours, he kind of twitches a little bit, moves around some, but not too much because you found nothing's gonna happen. Let's see
I'll
for
take
the last
this.
watch.
I'll take the last watch.
All right, Mr. Grumpy Catapult. Let's see. Oh. All right. So yes, so you're going to be able to then restore your HP, key points, spell slots, daily abilities that rely on resting. Of course, that means that so does the giant. But, you know. Yeah, sure. They're gonna at least recover some health. But that's a fair point.
I
So
promise I was not allowing him to rest during my shift.
I believe you. You very upset at her slash tabaxi. So yes. So like I said, we'll open with kind of in questioning him, and I feel like that actually would probably be a good thing. So it'll give you some time to have more of an idea of what exactly you're gonna ask. And I'm sure you have some basics, but it might not hurt. Okay. So how was your giant fight for you guys?
Super fun. Yeah, I shot my wad. That was all my key. So,
I was ready to cast that at that wonderful catapult at second level, and do, because all the objects in the bag are going the exact same speed, and it would have been 48 plus 48 plus 48 going on down the line. I think five times four, so that'll be 20 d8 of damage.
Yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, no, I was bummed that even with disadvantage, you kept saving.
Yeah, no, it made me smile because I'm like, yep, this is D&D. Sometimes shit just doesn't happen.
I will not forget my
Anyway.
sneak attacks next time.
Right. We'll do our best to remember move like one. And I said, hopefully we can get back to playing once a week, even if it's not always on the same day. But
yeah.
I
And
want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching us get through our version of Storm King's Thunder this evening. We're gonna say, Lucas.
yeah, does anyone have anything they want to plug, like their channels or social medias?
Well, Will has my channel up on the ending screen, so we've got, you know, my Twitch, my TikTok, my YouTubes up on there, so I'm good.
I'm gonna be working on all of those things for myself once I'm done moving across this country, which I'm in the middle of right now. But we all have a wonderful evening, and I had a great time. Hope you had fun watching, fun playing. Good.
Have a good night, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks. Good night.